Hi chat. Welcome in everyone. How we doing? I'm Chef JT. Welcome to Dinner with Chef JT. Hello, Will. Welcome, Michael. Hey, Hockey Mask. Woohoo! Get them 50 sprinkles at the beginning of the stream. I had a great nap, chat, and so I'm trying to wake up right now. This coffee's gonna help me greatly. Yeah, I think I got a whole 45 minutes. The real problem was I had put a cover on, and I very much did not want to take that cover off to get up and prep the kitchen for streaming tonight. That took some willpower. I get sugar in the raw back tomorrow. I bought packets, so I'll do the same amount of sugar. The price is getting close enough between the two that I was just like, nah. They do paper packets, so I'm not too worried about. So Chad, I noticed today, I think it was on Blue Sky. I think I linked it from Blue Sky. Somewhere. I saw Emerald. They pushed Emerald to me in my feed. Oh wow, is he hit different with, like, without the professional crew and using the same music as I'm using. I was just like stunned. I posted a link in my main chat of the Discord this morning. Like, It's just a video of him doing, I think it was fava beans, something. But the music was straight up music that I use. I agree. And it's sort of sad that he had to take himself away from the limelight to save his businesses and people. For those unaware of what happened with Emerald, was 2008 financial crash. He had several restaurants, and the real estate in that went under with the whole thing. And he ended up selling his whole empire to Martha. And so now he's technically Martha's employee. Or I don't know if that's still current, but back 2008, he was Martha's employee for a bit. Which Martha saved his businesses, and I mean, he's no longer as much as a public figure, but he's still doing well, I guess. Just like I appreciate all of you joining me tonight. Cheers, chat. I got a sort of love-hate thing going on for, not a real love thing, but like-dislike thing going on with Martha. A lot of the things she does intrigues me. At the same time, a lot of the things she does annoys me. Things like, you watch her show, no one ever dresses as nice as her on her show. Everyone, like every guest that's there is dressed down. You can have the most stylish person in the world be on Martha's show. They're gonna look like crap compared to Martha. And yes, she has she's gone through this I'm a convict phase now, and absolutely. I'm sure that it is hockey mask, but and the reason that I bring it up is because I've seen people that are normally better dressed, more stylish, look dumbed down on her show. I honestly have not seen her show with Snoop. Nor have I actually... I know she has a cookbook with Snoop, too. Alright, we gotta get going with stuff here. We gotta cook ham hock. So let's get that going here. So I have a whole smoked pork shank. Beautiful looking thing. I slice them nicely the store here for us, but I'm gonna leave it there. I was intrigued to try. Well, I have no real interest in going back to Vegas anytime soon, but I was intrigued by what her restaurant in Vegas was going to be, and was maybe like, there's maybe 2 or 3 things in Vegas right now that are like, I could do that if I go back. At the same time, I remember everything else about Vegas. The casinos, just, ew. So we'll get this going with the full flame underneath it. And we'll fill it up. Well, the things on my list that are the things that aren't the casinos. Like, I don't really, like, modern day gambling does not appeal to me. I'll play a little online poker if I could. Can't do that legally. At least in the US. But the rest of gambling just now. And so it's left me with, I've been to the Mob Museum there once. That was a good experience. I'm sure I've forgotten more than half of it and would enjoy going back. I would love to go to the Atomic Museum that's there. I didn't know that it existed. I assume I would probably not learn a whole lot there, considering the amount that I've watched and read, but it'd be interesting. Those are the major 2, other than... Absolutely. When you consider where Area 51 is, and where all of our nuclear testing has been, people used to travel to Vegas to watch the bombs go off. If they had a legit, properly done, well made out, it maybe exists, but if they had a proper one for like the big heavyweight boxing events, I'd go to that museum too. Another thing that's cool that's there that I did once and I'm not gonna do again, but it's a great one-time experience, is the Neon Museum there. Or their Neon Boneyard. It's essentially an open lot with a whole bunch of neon signs in it that all used to be part of Vegas in the old days. But yeah, the rest of it I could, it's not... The restaurants are sometimes exciting to me, but the vast majority of the restaurants in Vegas, Martha's are not. Coming back full circle to why we got talking about Vegas, most of them are run by the hotel staff. They're not, in most cases, they're like contracted out, and we'll design the menu for you, or we'll give you the theme, and then the hotel just runs it. So we got that going. Let's do some bread. Let's do some bread. Been there, enjoyed it. Impressive bread. French do things right. Like, you think of the Americans with their, oh, they give us all sorts of free bread before our meal at the steakhouse. They don't know what they're talking about. I think I got served a coconut 6 ways when I was there. All in one glass. Throw a little sugar in there and make it happy. Gotta make the yeasties happy. I don't even remember the name of the other place I went to and had a tasting, like... Yeah. Hi, Nan Reader. What else do we need to get going right off here? Just the bread, basically, I guess. I think we're pretty set for most everything else. The major thing was getting that ham hock going, because that needs some time to cook. Now see, that's how you spend Vegas. You go somewhere ridiculous, have a meal that's entirely way too large, and then fall asleep for the rest of the day. Maybe in a half-drunken stupor. Get up and then go do more drinking. And they're hoping that you hit the tables in between somewhere there, but... bread flour. Did I say hi, Nan Reader? Hi, Nan Reader. Salt. That used to be multicolored today. Okay, one last Vegas tip. Don't waste money on an expensive room in Vegas unless you're getting like a full-on like luxury resort room. Like if you're just getting a Joe Blow room, go to a cheap casino. Save the money. Last time I went, I stayed. It's not called it anymore, but I stayed at what originally, but before Giant Fire, was the MGM. At the time I stayed there, it was still Bally's. Now it's something else. I forget what they changed the name to. That's a big one too, but traveling between them is getting easier these days. But you can't do it by foot. And it costs money other ways. In the case of Bally's, the same staff is handling Bally's as that's handling the Paris. Even more, it's... And if you get into looking into who owns what, it's so, like they all own each other. Like, either, they own the rights to run the casino, they own the casino, or they own the land on the casino's on. Every one of them. It's like we've talked before about, how the major shipping boats all have, they're insured by one country, they're staffed by another, they're owned by a third, and flagged by a fourth. Casinos, I think, are all basically the same way. Nah, I don't think they're really involved anymore. They're more the ones that are involved in Steak and Kick and penny stock scams. Sort of like that scene in the Sopranos when they try and shake down the it isn't a Starbucks, but they were trying to make it look like a Starbucks. And the dude's like, I give you money, they're just gonna fire me and have someone new in here next week. But even like they get their fingers into so many other things too. Like you listen about that Michael dude that does all the, I was a made man videos. He explains what he used to do for them. Forgetting his name, which is bugging me, but what he was doing for the mob was taking control of gas stations and then taking the gas and not paying any of the taxes on any of the gas. And it would take them several months to figure out, oh, they're not paying taxes. And then it would take another couple of months for them to try and catch up to you to get you to actually pay the taxes. And then he'd move on to a new gas station and let them fail. And so he would get all of the tax money off of all of the gas. Alright, so we're going to allow that to proof now. Michael Francese. It's starting to get bubblicious back here. Starting to get bubbly. Zoom right. What else am I doing for dinner tonight? Oh, that's what I was going to do here. We're going to start off doing some onion and other veggies with our soup. This is supposed to be a yellow onion according to the recipe I have in the Discord. But, ooh. Bad layer in the center of that one. the top. Or maybe not. Let's ride it all the way through. I could have thrown that in my freezer veggies. I don't keep freezer veggies though. I probably should keep freezer veggies. Yeah, that one's better. Thinking how I want to cut my onion for with this, how big I want it. My dealers are sweet. They don't work well as cooked onions. They're great as a fresh onion, though. The yellow ones are more harsh and more astringent when they're raw, but when they're cooked, they get much sweeter. And the sweet onions, or the sugary onions, they tend to get a bit more bitter when they're cooked. And so it's sort of a trade-off. Same thing with the red onions. Red onions don't do well when they're raw. They're just too potent. They're too strong. But add heat, and they become delicate little flowers. Oh, aren't you so delicate? Oops. I lost more of that to the floor than I would want to. Fed the Roomba for the night. Starting to smell porky in here. That ham's smelling everything up deliciously. That smoky pork smell. House is slowly smelling more and more like a smokehouse. Nice. Hi, Genre. What's up, Genre? Get to the pacton. Why is my earbud so quiet? Sort of wish we had the Governator back. Instead of Mr. Podcast. That said, I would still like to see Mr. Podcast debate Trump. Alright, we got garlic, onion, celery. I don't have carrots in the house, otherwise I'd be throwing some carrots in there. The beans and spinach don't have to go in until we're sort of finishing things up. And so I think we're waiting on these to cook. I'm gonna make a salad. We're still gonna have time to wait for that to boil down and cook. If only I had chicken. I could make a buffalo chicken salad. So I think I'm gonna sort of do a buffalo chicken salad, but without the chicken. I hear ya. I'm happy with the color on those. I'm gonna cut the heat on that. Hey, John Ray. Oh, I already said hi to you. I like ham hocks too. Great flavor for making soups and sauces. I was talking about this just last stream. I love all of those tougher bits that take forever to cook, but have much better flavor and much more, like, you eat a soup that's been cooked with a hock in it, and your mouth is just coated in ham. And these ones too are the ones that they're getting at this store are just gorgeous. Yes. The only way that I can remember having tripe was very thin sliced, and in China. I had it multiple times in China, served multiple places. Different sauces, different preparations, but every time it was just like sliced, sliver thin. Just thick enough that you could pick it up with a pair of chopsticks. It was an adventure, but I never really knew what was going on with a lot of the foods we had in China. Like, I went with a whole bunch of other culinary students as far as a culinary program over there. And so we were there as a group everywhere we went. And in many cases, we were 2 tables. I think we were about 16 strong, something like that. But we would have either one massive table or 2 tables with lazy Susans on them, and they would just like order the menu. Like, there would be everything on the table, and we didn't, like, none of the servers, like, if we were lucky, some of them would know hello or things like that, but they're not going to describe dishes to us or be detailed or informative about what there are. And so we really had to do a lot of guesswork as to what we were eating. We got served Sprite like everywhere. It was usually warm too. If we weren't going to, like, nice places, Hockey Mask, I would maybe be a little bit more, like, most of the places we were going to were nice places. I think Chef Chang's retired. I wonder if they're still doing that or if someone's picked that up from her. It was... Chef Chang was one of the Cuisines of Asia instructors at the Culinary Institute, and she was Chinese born and raised, and so she went to the schools and had those contacts. And so she had arranged these trips for our students to go over there unofficially. Actually, they have a Shanghai campus now, so that's probably what's taken over for China trips. It's so odd to me. Like, why did they choose, like... I don't get San Antonio either. The CIA is expanded. Since I was at the Culinary Institute, when I was there, they were just sort of getting going with Greystone here in Napa. But now they've got Singapore and San Antonio. And both of those, I'm sort of like, isn't that a little bit of an overextension? Though shout out to Eve Felder for going out to Singapore and running that. Do I want to deglaze this with anything? I think I'm just going to deglaze it with the liquid from the ham. Turn the flame back on high here. I hear mic noises all the time, and it's driving me nuts. So all these lovely veg now go in with the ham. Zoom right. Hey, JK. We got a ham hock on the stove. I've made sushi a couple of times. Doesn't really excite me. I'm not a huge fan of nori. And so the nori wraps... It's the other thing with sushi's a little bit more of, it's like making bento boxes, or it's a little bit more artsy, a little more fussy than is my style. But yeah, I've made sushi before. I don't really plan to do so anytime soon. I also don't think that I would do, like, I've talked about this before. True sushi chefs, like Japanese proper sushi chefs, spend years just learning how to make the rice, much less, learning how to properly cut the fish. Like, it takes decades to be a full-fledged, proper sushi chef. I would in no way do that proper honor. another one of those arts that's dying because there is no loyalty in the world anymore. That's not my call for more loyalty. It's just my statement on the world right now. I mean, across the board, I'm actually sort of envious of Japanese food, but not so much for their food. Like, they are so clean with some of their stuff compared to the way we work with things. It's astounding. You see the videos of how they prepare food for their schools and for their children, and you look at how we do it in the US. Oh. I don't know. It's been a while since I've been to school. Maybe some of you have kids. What is school like? Lunches like these days? Do they even have lunch ladies anymore? Obviously, you need someone to collect the money from kids. But is everyone actually preparing food anymore, or is it just all packaged crap? It was mostly packaged crap when I was a kid. That just made me sad that kids today don't have chocolate tacos. Like, chocolate tacos were the shit. They were like the pinnacle of ice cream when we were in school. We don't want no drumstick junk. Give me that chocolate taco. What was the pinnacle at your school, chat? What was the I don't know, ice cream, the treat, the... Then again, that's also something that I think has to widely range from state to state here in the US too. Like, there's a big difference in how much the states give to their schools. I don't know how some of those southern states still have schools. What else are we throwing with this salad other than cucumber, green onion, some of the same dressing from yesterday. Dioxins. I don't remember what the big thing in high school was. Then again, I was like gone for half of high school. I'd imagine the pizza is much the same, isn't it? It's probably still that giant doughy brick made on a full hotel pan. Never did identify if some major... There was probably some major company just making those en masse. Thing is, they would use in-house pans to bake them. Hey Joy, thank you for the follow. These are still tied. Ooh, I forgot the sloppy joes. Those are crucial to, upping the tomato content of children's intake. Still gonna make noise? Yeah. Oh well. Let's see, we got we got all that. We're gonna throw some rocket with that and call it a done deal. Oh, we got these to throw in there. Oh, I'll try and remember that later on. Manwich is in the can list for Friday. Yes, if I haven't hit anyone in chat. We don't have a ton of people in chat tonight, but Friday. Doing 5 votes in chat for 5 cans, and I'm gonna have to make dinner from the 5 cans chat chooses. Ooh, now I gotta look for Vienna sausage. That's a good one. I mean, I've already got Spam, imitation meat, corned beef hash, manwich, chili, and there's all sorts of seafood options too. Guess chat didn't let that scramble ferment enough. Thank you for the follow. So we got almost a whole nother hour I want to wait on that to simmer. I guess we can get beans and stuff out, but that's going to be like 30 seconds. And we got the spinach right here. And where did I hide garbanzo beans? They're back here. They were easy to find. Spinach. We gotta close up our vote for next week. Or for this week. And so it looks like canned tomato soup wins for Wednesday. Hi, Alex. And so I am going to go into the next channel down here. You see, this is the Wednesday dinner vote. The channel directly underneath it in the Discord comes up with this list where you can add your own suggestions. I just added 4 last night. New ones. So if you want to add something to the ingredient challenge, this is the place you do it. Let's see, I don't see any more than 1.5 there. Pancakes versus pancakes versus instant mashed potatoes. I just looked at it. Hey, they can see me. I sorta gotta. These are gonna get really weird here in the near future with AI, maybe. But we've yet to see the Giphy AI inundation yet. But if you want to have a say in not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday's vote, there you go, chat. Turn that down just a touch. I went bubbling, but not quite that hot. We're gonna punch down this dough here next. Well, they're already doing it for Facebook posts, so it's just a matter of time. I will say, if you catalog anything, just stop. Just start taking photos. It'll figure out the rest for you. It may take you a try or two, but that's a heck of a lot easier than manual entry. I don't know which one it was. Was it Gates or was it Altman? But one of the two, may have been Bezos. One of them said 95% of all electricity in the future is going to go to AI use. And I somewhat agree with that idea. If you look at what the major companies are doing as far as, like, Microsoft is reopening 3 Mile Island. Like, decommissioned, out of action nuclear generator. They're firing it back up just for AI. And all of them are doing similar things. Obviously, they're not firing up that 3 Mile Island one, but there was more than one there. I'm making buns. I'm doing my final roll on these. They have been proofing. They are just simple bread flour dinner rolls. No butter, no yeast, not enriched, just straight dinner roll. splitting the atom, make rock. It is sort of, we're getting into a weird world with. Then you start getting into the quantum stuff they're doing. And it's just like, what? It's not a 1 or a 0. How can it not be a 1 or a 0? It's binary. I know it a little better than that. Chat's like, that's a little bit wider. I can't even hardly tell that from my perspective. I look on that and they all look out of place. I look on camera and I look straight down and they're all out of place. Here, they look like they're right. We're not too far off from it now, it's just we can't do it the way we originally wanted to. It's not going to be just this constant thing. At least from my perspective. The company that's been most successful at it so far, in my perspective, is treating it more like it's going to be like a V8, where they're going to be setting off these explosions on a regular, constant basis. The tokamak gets all the press, though. That was in the news, too. That was an interesting news article yesterday I read that Altman was actually considering a run for president this past round and didn't do it. It makes me wonder how much the whole Musk-Altman thing got Musk in bed with the current administration. Hey, Zeke. But with where we are right now, this ham hock needs to simmer for a bit longer. And so I think I'm going to take a little bit of an AFK and just leave this on with the music. We'll take my camera off and throw a timer up. Alright, folks. See y'all back here in a little less than 30 minutes. Hi, chat. There we go. Third time's charm. So I turned the ham hock with 10 minutes to go there, and I just, as I walked back into the kitchen here, turned the oven on for our rolls. So the oven's preheating to 400 for the rolls. We're getting to the point where it's almost time to take this out. Give that another 10 minutes or so before I pull that out. What do I want to put as far as a topping on these? I don't know if I want to burn an egg just to coat them. So I think we might go with half and half tonight. Well, let's wait for that oven to get up to heat. I don't want to get those wet prematurely. Yeah, that's going to be easy to clean up. Already peeling off of the bone. So much cooler now. So much more relaxed. Maybe should have preheated the oven a little bit earlier. Not by much, though. I mean, we're just getting it warm for the rolls. We'll have to see how these rolls stack up compared to... I normally put a little half and half, or a little butter, and enrich them in some form. Every once in a while I throw a little egg in there. All of them are going to make them a softer roll, I believe. I did use bread flour, which will make it softer on its own. But we'll see how these stack up compared to half and half rolls. I am not loving the look of that spinach, by the way, chat. I have not done canned spinach really before. It's going in soup, so I thought it would probably be okay. I'm still a little scared. Chat's like, you got another can for Friday, right? I don't know if I do or not. It's much smaller, yeah. That or it's been chopped up to some degree, or... We'll do a little salt on top. Alright, let's pull the ham hock out of here. Allow that to start cooling down a little bit on its own. Tore apart on its own. Why am I hearing an echo of myself? Oh yeah, that's right, I occasionally do that. You hear one when I'm over at the stove. That be flavor. How have you not heated up yet, oven? You're taking forever to heat these days. That or I'm just getting more impatient with my oven, which is quite possible too. But I think it's taking more time to heat up these days. Chad, are you staring at my oven? Not kidding, Muskeg. I'm actually I'm still working on SprinkleBot, but I'm working on that. I mean, there's so much that I promised to chat with SprinkleBot already as far as what's going on with chat. There's equally as much cool stuff on my end that I would like to see happen, and a lot of that is extrapolating what's going on from my voice in the stream. Why are you not warm yet, oven? Alright, I'm tired of waiting. We're throwing you over here while we break down meat. Written into as far as it's multiple things. It's primarily Python, but it's also React and more. And what's that written into? That's something I'm doing for my stream entirely. Get the marrow out of there. Marrow. We'll throw this all back in there. The stew with it. It'll hopefully in future also be tied into the React that's running chefjte.com. But I haven't tackled that yet. I just don't want to be stuck on... I've used several bot programs over the years, and they're always working on stuff, and the one that I'm primarily using now, I honestly haven't followed in the last couple of months, but last I checked, was primarily focused on a lot of things that are unimportant to my stream. Like, a lot of VTuber stuff, which is awesome. VTubers need it, but I'm not a VTuber. And it's sort of failing at a couple of things. And so, yeah, I sort of am tackling doing it myself. / AI, of course, but there's only so much vibe coding gets you. And it gets you a lot of messy stuff. It does so much stupid shit. Let's create 50 extra files to do something that could have been 5 lines of code. Well, my real thing with the switching to my own code, beyond a lot of these bots are working into niches and stuff like that that are not really what I'm interested in, is I've had to transfer several times because of switching from Mixer or, just trends, businesses dying out, one's being more popular than the other. I just don't want to have to deal with any of that. That's unimportant to me. Like, I just want their features without having to worry about all of that overhead. And so, even though it's now taken me a couple of months working on this, I still think it is advantageous because in the future, I won't have to worry about XYZ bot deciding that they're not interested in the platform that I am. I'm just gonna let the rest of that cook off in there. I don't think I'm gonna get much serious meat off of that. I might be interested in who is that? I might watch that. So I'm gonna chop through this, gristle or not, cartilage or not. It's all good in this. As long as it ain't bone. This thing's got a ton of meat on it too. Normally these don't have near this much meat. That's one of the, I was praising these ham hocks that I've been buying. All that fat in the skin too. In fact, we're gonna cut this in half so it's a little bit smaller. We're gonna switch to a different knife that's gonna cut this better. This was I feel like making split pea soup, but I've made split pea soup, so let's do something a little different, and so let's do chickpea and spinach instead. I ratchet so far down on this knife. I mean, look at my... I'm using my hooking it with my ring finger at the end. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of a longer knife. Going back to the whole bot talk, for those that are new and or haven't heard my spiel about why I started streaming in the first place, I originally started streaming in the first place as my record instead of writing recipes, and as AI become more and more evident of coming out, it's been more and more of, okay, AI is going to be here in 5 years. I can create my own repository of things that I have done myself for it to analyze. Which is why not only am I recording the stream that is going out to all of you wonderful people, but I have a second feed that's being recorded in the back. With better detail. Because this is all stuck with 1080 as far as the view. What I have back there is 4 views at 1080, so I'm recording at 4K, but it's like a security camera feed of 4 1080 feeds. And all of the audio without the effects and that separated out on separate channels. Hey, Pav. Oven's at 400, so let's throw the rolls in. And so now we're going in all the ham going into the soup. And I think that's going to be a little chunky if we add the spinach and the greens in with that, or the spinach and the beans in with that. So we're gonna probably have to add a little water here. I don't know if this is gonna fit all in this pot now. You can take the bones out, but we'll see. I'm not sure what all that meant, Alpav, but thanks for stopping in. That's the rocket, or arugula. Trying to cycle liquid in and out of the bone to try and get as much of the marrow out of that, and also flex this joint and get the cartilage as much into the liquid. And do the same thing with this one. Good coffee today. Yeah, I sort of know how the TV game is like that too. Yeah, I had a friend when I lived in LA that was a post-production manager, and he would work like insane hours for 6 weeks out of the year. No, it was 16 weeks out of the year? Something like that. But the rest of the year he was technically laid off. And so he would sit in the bar and collect layoff checks in between seasons. It doesn't work as well when you're not the post-production manager of a successful, heavy show. So I sympathize. Although I much appreciate you working with PBS and Travel Channel, at least. I don't know so much Food Network. Food Network was amazing. Like back Emerald days when we were talking about Emerald earlier. And now it's sort of like MTV in the food world. Like, there's hardly any food on food TV anymore. It all went to the cooking channel or the cooking TV or whatever that other channel is. Seems to be more and more of that these days. The news articles about the ladies doing two jobs at once, whether police officer, or teacher, or night. For a while there, I would have thought of the idea or pitched the idea, hey, you want to edit all my old stuff for me? But now I don't think it's really worth your time or my money. No offense. Just for, like, I wouldn't get any views, is what I'm saying. Tiptoeing, trying to talk without sorry if I'm offending by Okay, I think I'm done with the bones. If I wasn't worried about space in the pot, I would just leave them in. Because they're just gonna continue to help the flavor. But I need room in there for the chickpeas and the spinach. It's been a couple of years, but I do think I secured my name on that site. For a minute there, they were trying to go like, we're not a porn site. How much longer we got on the rolls? 8 minutes. Back to sweating, chat. I was so cool. I was cool as a cucumber when I came back from break. Oh, dad joke. If only chat saw the YouTube dad joke with our recent conversation. Five minutes, I think we can add our beans and spinach now. To the Discord Clips channel. I'll put it there after stream if you don't. But yeah, sorry, I have links disabled. Blame the hotspots. I'm glad they're not still around. We're also gonna have to add some seasoning in here. We haven't had salt since those beans or that spinach. I'm trusting the ham hock, the smoked ham hock, to be plenty seasoned on its own. Black pepper in there. A little cumin. And a little cayenne. And a bunch of regular paprika. These are not things that are in... I'm not following the recipe on the Discord. Sorry, chat. We're somewhat close to it. But I'm going my own way with the spices here. I didn't even look what spices are necessarily in there. And I also didn't have carrots. So... But fresh bottle of paprika. And we have rolls. Not quite as golden brown on the top of our rolls since we went for dairy instead of egg on the wash. Those are feeling a bit more crusty exterior than usual. You don't have to cut the ham up as fine as I did if you want to have some like hunks. But then again, I'll repeat myself, that ham hock had quite a bit of meat on it. Like most ham hocks, like you go for ham hocks in Safeway, you're barely gonna find meat on them at all. They'll give you tons of flavor, but they're not gonna give you any meat. That'll work. I'm still a little concerned about the idea of the spinach, but that seemed to all work well. Could have maybe added more salt, but we don't need more salt in there. It's got good flavor. I'm not looking to max it out like a restaurant. So next steps here, we can turn this oven off and stop generating heat from that. We can move the rolls off of the counter here. And we can make our salad. Yeah, the same dressing from last night. Made this on last stream. I am going to bulk it up a little bit. Salt, pepper, Faco Bacos, sunflower seeds, like this is a maximum crunch salad. I could go for the almond too, but I think I'm gonna live with this here. I could do the nutritional yeast too, but I think I'm gonna leave it here. Heat off on the soup. Bottom of our rolls. very dark soup. But we got a nice color on that broth. The spinach is all broken down into small little bits that I don't think will be any sort of issue. In fact, it's broken down much more than I would prefer my spinach to be broken down. And we hit another ad. Oh, well, how am I so bad at this? Camera time. Photo time, chat. Quick, story time. Whatever happened to that dude? I think that looks like a pretty good dinner. Don't you, chat? But I don't have any... Oh, what was it? Wild turkey. We're gonna be quoting Mr. Alright, Alright, Alright. You gotta have the right booze. But I think this is beautiful midweek food that you could easily do in a slow cooker while you're at work. Just throw the beans and spinach in it when you get home. Hi, Undamaged. You're catching me right at the finish. You're catching the photo finish here. We've got unenriched, just straight bread flour rolls tonight. We have a mixed pot of, I'm using up stuff around the house salad, whole bunch of cucumber, or whole bunch of celery, because I got way too much celery in the house, and I've got some cucumber in there along with the dressing that I made in the last stream, and blue cheese, Fago Bacos, sunflower seeds, rocket. It's yummy. There's some green onion in there too. And then this deliciousness here is a 2+ hour ham hock, smoked ham hock, cooked down, and then with chickpeas, canned chickpeas, and spinach added in for the finish, along with a little spice, little onion, little garlic. I think it's all gonna be delicious. I've tried this for seasonings. I already know that's delicious. This turned out great last night, but like I was saying, it's not a, you get a couple of bites and a few different flavors, and it's more like a slaw. It's too complicated, it's too messy. But then again, that's half the idea. I'm using up stuff in the kitchen in it. And we'll see how the rolls do. I'll let you know in the Discord what I think compared to normally. I do these with a little half and half or some egg. I did half and half for the... I basted them in half and half before throwing them in the oven. Rather than doing an egg wash, I used a half and half wash. But they're feeling soft on the inside, but the outside's feeling a little more crunchy. Now that they're resting, they're softening up now though, so... But I think it's all delicious. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. We've got a fun stream here coming on Wednesday. Gonna have to use tomato soup, canned tomato soup, as an ingredient in my dinner and dessert on Wednesday. And then Friday, you're all coming to join in on Friday, right, chat? Because I need votes. We're gonna do Can It Be Delicious? Chat's gonna vote on 5 rounds of cans, and whatever's in those cans I have to use to make dinner. Though I'm not gonna make it obvious what the cans are is to chat either. But there's all sorts of stuff. So I hope you come back to join me for one or both of those. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. And, good night.